Hey, up you bleeders. This is Just Bleed Radio, and we're back to do a preview show for UFC 320. We haven't planned this. I should let you know that all of these picks are our very own. We don't know who is going to pick who, and we don't care, quite frankly. So yeah, if we pick someone, we pick them ourselves. There's no corporate backing behind this one, unfortunately. Maybe we get that Saudi paycheck one of these days. Who knows? So yeah, I'm your host, DangerMouse. I've been shoehorned into this position for this evening. I'm joined as always by our California can crusher, who was more recently a twisted tea sipper. How you going, Austin? You ready to pick some fights?
Oh yeah, I just opened a beer. I'm good to go.
And Lazy, I know many bings. I'm sure many bings have been ripped. So
They absolutely have. I was going to say I have not opened a beer, but I have ripped many a Bing.
yeah, and stack some groceries.
Yeah, as well.
All right, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go through UFC 320, the main card only. We might touch on a prelim or two. I know Lazy would like to. And we're going to start right at the top with the main event between Magomed Ankalaev, who the current champion, versus former champion Alex Pereira. And I don't know who wants to go first on this one. I'll tell you what, I'll go first. Oh, this is a really unsure one for me, I must admit. My heart of hearts, I want Alex Pereira to win this one, but Magomed did beat him last time. But it was a pretty close fight last time. Yeah, I think if I went back and looked at the stats, we probably wouldn't be that many strikes difference between that won each round. And Magomed never really managed to implement any wrestling again, other than pushing Alex up against the cage. And Alex was coming in, I believe, off 3 title defenses in 7 months. He was flying all over the world. Maybe he didn't take the fight as seriously as he should have done. I really want to say Alex Pereira is going to do it, but I have a nagging feeling that Ankalaev might. Right now, not legally binding, so fuck you, Austin. I'm going to hedge towards Alex Pereira at the moment. I think I want to see some.
Oh no, fuck it. Do legally binding. Put some balls on your fucking desk and say it. Come on, what are we doing here?
There's only a couple of fights I'm unsure of on this card, and this happens to be one of them. I'd quite forgotten. Yeah, I'm hedging towards Alex Pereira, I think, but I really want to see what he looks like on fight week. I haven't seen him yet. I know they were sparring kind of backstage a little bit with that entire thing, where they were hurling abuse at each other via text.
Yeah, with Google Translator.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah, I saw Guru talking about it and replaying bits of it. But it was clearly that Alex was reading the text that Ankalaev had said, where he was saying that he was saying Ankalaev was saying he was going to slap Alex. As we know, that's almost certainly Little Ali's fingerprints all over that one. So go on then, Austin, as soon as you've been so loud and vocal, who are you going to go for, motherfucker?
All right, motherfucker. I'll go for the current champ. I'll say it. I'll do it. I'm not confident it will go to a no contest or draw or some fuckery, but I'm gonna pick the champion because he figured out how to beat him. And unlike the rematch that Izzy had with Poatan, where he finished him all while looking like he was, doing the rope a dope a little bit. Ankalaev kind of put Alex Pereira on the back foot, and not too many people were able to do that at light heavyweight. Not even at middleweight could people really do that to him. And the crazy part is looking at Ankalaev's career, you wouldn't have thought that this dude was capable of putting on a striking display that was going to frustrate and put Pereira on on the wrong end of a decision in most of the fans' eyes. And if you're talking about fans who thought this was a close fight, uh, that was a robbery in their eyes. And you're talking about some hardcore Pereira fans, and I get it. Your guy didn't win. It sucks, but it's the breaks. Yeah, your guy, kind of didn't really show up, and I think that's the big thing is that okay. He's had enough time off. He hasn't been fucking around too much, as far as I can tell. He hasn't been traveling nearly as much either. A Pereira who's taken some time to get right physically as well as mentally prepare for the fight that he's got against a tried and true light heavyweight competitor who is currently the champion. I wonder if we get the Pereira of old, who was just the destroyer that comes in and just handles people, or the guy who's going to come in and, despite getting beat up like he was against Khalil or Izzy, comes back and wins the fight outright by finish. To see that Pereira come back, I have my doubts because I don't think that Pereira is going to show up. I believe it's going to be a close fight, a competitive fight, and I'm going to lean to Ankalaev because I've seen that dude. He is in his own belief that he is the best light heavyweight in the world, and you cannot say Pereira hasn't put himself in a position to be successful as of late. So I'm going to say the guy who has the belt and is from you know, a part of the world where they take this sporting thing type kind of seriously. I'm going to say he's going to be the guy who ends up with the belt. Although there could be some fuckery. I wouldn't put it past him to go to a no contest or some kind of draw or some shit. But I'm going to lean Ankalaev by split decision.
Well, if it was draw, Ankalaev would keep the belt anyway. So
That's a good point.
You say this.
mm-hmm.
Unless, the only if he got DQ'd, that would be something. Which is a possibility with him too. He is Don Ankalaev. Man, this one's tough. This one's tough. And you guys both said it. Like, there's a lot of. First of all, it's a rematch. Rematches can always go either way because you can either have one guy coming in saying, "I know what I did wrong, and I'm gonna improve upon that in this fight," and they can come out looking like they've solved the puzzle. Or you could have the reverse situation where the first guy that won the first go round, he's so emboldened and has such a boost of confidence that he comes out looking like a sharper, better version of himself than he did in the last one, and just repeats that performance and improves upon it. Then you also have to take into consideration what you mentioned, DangerMouse, what Pereira was up to leading into that last fight. All the shit that he had going on, the schedule that he was on, the extracurricular activities that he was choosing to embark upon when he should have been taking it easy and getting ready for the fight and doing things the correct way, like behaving like a champion. Instead, he was behaving kind of like a fool. He was behaving kind of like a guy who had newfound fame and didn't know what to do with it. And he was mishandling his time and energies. And that could be big in this fight. Like, that could be another way this plays out. Is it possible Pereira comes in? It does look like that Poatan of old. And he's just marching forward like a stone statue and, hurting Ankalaev with everything he throws. That's a possibility too, because he was very hesitant in their first match. He didn't do much of anything. And he did not show the things that he's become known for, the signature techniques that have made him who he is and that brought him to this level. So, man, this is a very tough one to call. It's even tougher because Pereira is on my draft team. Pereira, my number 2 draft pick. I need these points to seal up the year.
I might have to divert them.
Yeah, I know, exactly. That's why I picked Ankalaev. Fuck you, Lazy.
Can't go back now. It's on the record. It is what it is. But no. So yeah, I would like him to win. I want him to win. As far as who I like more as a fighter and who I find more entertaining, it's clearly Pereira. But I have also that same weird sneaking suspicion, that same kind of like, I smell a rat, and I don't know if he's going to be able to pull this off. I kind of think that Ankalaev is going to probably beat Alex, and he's probably going to beat the next couple of guys he faces. I think he's going to go on a run, and he's going to get some defenses under his belt. So as much as it pains me to say it, I don't think I'm getting all the draft points come UFC 320. I think that Ankalaev is probably going to retain. He's probably going to defend. Probably going to win a decision. I don't see him putting Alex away. I don't. He's got more pop than people will give him credit for, but I don't think he's got the pop to put away Stone Hands. But I think he does win a decision.
Ooh, that's very serious. Picking against your own pick in the draft. Although I think, I'm not sure. No, I don't think I ever got around to doing it. I did consider it once, I think. All right, then on to the co-main. Merab Dvalishvili versus Corey Sandhagen for the UFC Bantamweight Championship. And Austin, you can take this one away.
All right. First off, I am a fan Merab, the little, psychopath, funny little guy from Georgia that he is. He's fun to watch, but I think Corey has his number. Reason why is because Merab is a guy who will put pressure on his opponents, not really do a shit ton of damage, but just drag them into deep water with the grappling and push them to, have to defend takedowns on a regular basis when they haven't been really used to doing that. And it's not like Merab is this great striker. He's a guy who's just going to do the thing, not even really land a ton of damage on you. He's just going to tire you out. Like, he's basically what Khabib would be if Khabib didn't look to do damage, right? He's just going to take you down and just hold you there. Look for submissions, a little pitter patter against the cage or whatnot, or just keep you up against the cage and force you to have to adjust to what he's doing. He's going to put you on the back foot more often than not. And Corey is used to that. Corey's been there. Corey's been at the top of this division, just fighting nothing but everybody in the top 15 since he's made it his ascension. Hell, he's got enough experience with the high elite of this division just to figure out how to adjust the game plan enough to get to, do what Sean O'Malley couldn't do, which was finish him. And he tried, but you could just tell, like, Corey's ready for this. Corey's been ready for this. Corey has, by all means, deserved this. I don't think Corey's fought for the title, like, outright, with a standing champion defending it, right? I think this is his time. If you're gonna give it to anybody, it's gonna be Corey, and Corey's like the most dangerous fighter in this division. You have your Sean O'Malley who can stand with anybody and put their lights out. You have Petr Yan, who's like probably the most destructive fighter of the division. You have some killers throughout this top 15, and in bantamweight is alone like 90 fighters deep. If you're gonna fucking survive at the top, you have to be a killer. Corey is that tenfold. I don't look at what we've been seeing with Merab as an escalation. I think we've just seen not a de-escalation, but just a plateauing effect with his fights. Most of his opponents can't really handle him. Hell, even Sean O'Malley got finished, in their last fight. But I don't think that was a Sean O'Malley who was taking this fight for what it was. And I think that Corey Sandhagen has his number. Do I know that for certain to be the case? No, but I'm gonna take the bet on Corey Sandhagen finding a finish, and I'm gonna say it comes into the fifth round, and that Corey's gonna be our new champion, and it's gonna be a TKO.
Ooh,
Oh my!
it's very interesting.
Yeah. The dogs are barking for Austin.
Yeah. Take it away, Lazy, because that way you can leave.
Well, all right. Well. As much as I respect my fellow co-host Austin, and I respect his opinion on the fights, and I respect his dedication to to fighters that he likes. I got it dead wrong. I'm here. Austin, you're dead wrong, brother. This is not the Merab of old. This is not the pitter patter Merab that's just gonna cardio you to death. This is the new finisher Merab. This is Merab 2.0. He choked Sean O'Malley out, as you brought up. That he showed a beautiful finishing instinct there. And I got to object too also. I think that was a Sean O'Malley that was very prepared and taking the fight very seriously coming in. That was a Sean O'Malley that stopped jaying the peen. He stopped smoking weed. He might have been taking that fight too seriously. And Merab made him look like a child in there. Not only that, but in recent weeks, I'm sure you guys have seen, or maybe you haven't, the footage emerged of Merab training with DJ, Demetrius Johnson.
Yes,
and doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And Merab tapping out Demetrius at will, more or less. And they were going at it. It wasn't 100%, but they weren't just fooling around. They were going for some serious rolls there. DJ was talking him up, man, talking up the finishing ability. His coach, John Wood, has been bragging a lot about Merab's hands, that he's been showing in the gym and the striking that he's put together. Now, that could spell disaster if he decides to get punch hungry and try to get in there and box with the Corey Sandhagen, because then I do see him getting his lights put out. But I definitely don't see it happening in the 5th round if it does happen. I would say it's got to happen sooner while he's still fresh and got popped, because you hang around to the 5th round with Merab, you're going to be dead. You're going to be spent by then. So I could see Corey maybe having the slightest sliver possibility of winning this fight and winning it early. But that's the same sliver of hope that every opponent Merab has relies on. That chance that they could catch him and they could find the button at the right moment. Can it happen? Sure. Will it happen? I don't believe so. I think Merab's probably going to come in there and he's going to steamroll Corey the way he's steamrolled the last out. He's on quite a streak. Corey also is just that kind of guy that he is the ultra talented quarterback in the NFL that everyone says, man, he's got all the intangibles. He's got all the tangibles. He's got everything you want in a blue chip prospect. He should be your next champion. But every time he gets the big opportunity and it gets under the big lights and it's his name on the marquee, he falters. He can't win in the playoffs. And this is his probably biggest opportunity in his life. And he's getting a Merab that even at 34 years old is still evolving. He's still getting better. And I hope this is a fun fight, but I could see a world where, similar to how it was done to O'Malley, Corey just can't find quite the answer for the grappling. Merab's not going to play that leg entanglement game that Davis and Figueiredo played. He's not going to do that fucking Ryan Hall shit. He's not going to play that. He's going to be on you. He's going to be smothering. He's going to have top control. It's going to be chest pressure, head pressure. It's going to be hairy Georgian chest all over Corey Sandhagen's face. And I see Merab probably winning a decision, but there is that chance that he puts him away. So give me Merab to retain his title.
Interesting. I was just looking at Corey Sandhagen. He does, of course, train at Elevation, so he might have that decent cardio to somewhat match Merab's.
He does. But
Merab's legendary cardio, but I doubt it very much, to be honest.
He's got good cardio, but his cardio is not on the level of the machine. There's no one.
No, that's what I'm thinking. But nonetheless, if he's training at Elevation, that is a plus in his favour. And Merab, first I've got to say, love the Georgian flag. It's very, very close to the flag of England, so I always like looking at that, especially in these dark times in England. Not going political on this show, not ever so much. Yeah, I fancy Dvalishvili for this one. His cardio is so weaponized. As Lazy's just said, I think if Corey's going to get it done, he's going to have to catch him early on, maybe catch him with a knee as he comes in and rattle Merab's skull, because if, as we've seen, Merab does not get tired through 5 rounds, he will keep coming at you. What was it, 49 takedown attempts on Jan, was it, that he did that on? Yeah, just crazy stuff. And I believe he's on a 13 fight win streak, Lazy. So he's closing in on those top records for the UFC. I think if he gets like another 2, he's going to be in the who else has got 15? Silver, GSP, John Jones. He's up in the DJ. He's up in that rarefied air. And as you said, he did submit Demetrius Johnson, and I don't think DJ was fucking about when they were rolling. I'm sure he did not want to get submitted by Merab. And so yeah, I think that's a very, very dangerous sign for Corey Sandhagen. So yeah, I've gone on enough. So yeah, Merab for me, by decision most likely. Could get a finish, but most likely by decision.
I know Austin's dying to rebuttal on that whole thing I said.
I know. My only thing before we go, my only thing on this is that, hey, you can say what you want. That was not the Sean O'Malley that showed up the first time. I'm just saying. And then on top of it too, like, if we're gonna go, oh, this is the new Merab, all right, well, he's still gonna lean up against somebody and keep them up against the fence and burn 15 minutes and then pretend he won the last 2 rounds, dancing around and acting like he's that guy or something, but I'm just going to say, I'm not saying I don't like Merab, but I can't wait for him to get knocked out.
Oh my.
Oh my, yeah.
Jeez.
Playing the optics is just part of the game. Just ask Eric Nixick; he will tell you all about optics.
Yeah, and like I said, Corey's got that chance to catch him early. Everyone knows it, but that's been the game plan for Sean O'Malley, Umar Nurmagomedov, Sean O'Malley, Henry Cejudo, Piotr Jan, Jose Aldo, Marlon Moraes. Like, that's been the game plan for fucking everybody. Catch him early. You can catch him early. Nobody ever does.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Sean O'Malley defeated Aljamain Sterling supposedly by KO, or which was not a KO in any fucking way. So yeah, robbery there. But that's old history now, I guess. But go on, Lazy, take it away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me move on before because we could stay on this one all day.
We could spend here a long time.
Yeah. The next one, I guess would be the feature bout of the night, which could easily be the fucking headliner of like many cards that we're gonna obviously have to sit through. Yeah, a fucking phenomenal fight. Like, two obvious fan favorites. I don't hear too many people talking shit on either one of these guys, like leading up to their fights, like, oh, I don't want to see Yuri fight, or man, I'm really not looking forward to that Khalil Roundtree fight. Like, bullshit. These are two dudes, like, this is calendar appointment viewing. Like, you gotta be there for a Khalil Roundtree or a Yuri fight. So to see these two lock horns and go at it, yeah, man, this is going to be a potential fight of the night right here, on a stacked card, which you could say that about a lot of these fights. But yeah, I think that the thing here is this is it's a tale of two momentums, and it's not a bad tale of two momentums because this is two guys that are kind of both on good trajectories. And I say kind of because you have Khalil that did lose to Alex, the fight before last, but he bounced back very well in that Jamal Hill fight, looked really good in that one. And I think that, as we said in the build of that fight, he gained momentum even in that loss to Alex. Like, that was kind of the pat on the back and the confidence booster that he had always been looking for in his career, where it was like, yeah, I can hang with these guys. Like, I really can get in there with the top dudes in my division and I can hold my own. And since then, he's a bit of a different beast. He's kind of an amalgamation of all the different Khalil Roundtrees we've seen throughout the years, all rolled into one with newfound confidence. So that's a dangerous man. But then you got Yuri, who, on the other side of it, he's not the same fucking Yuri that he always was. Like, he's still that crazy asshole that's going to do all that wild shit. But he also showed in his last fight, who came against, well, guess who? Jamal Hill. He's got a newfound sense of defense, kind of, in movement. Like, Yuri moves his head now. Yuri doesn't just keep his head in one place. He's not a broomstick moving forward. He actually showed some defensive skills. And that's a dangerous man, because if he can have that unorthodox, chaotic offense and also be a bit more defensively sound, he's a tough guy to beat. Like, people discount his experience level too. Like, he's been fighting for a long time. He's seen pretty much everything you could throw at him. So if he's able to still be
37-5.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. If he's able to still be evolving at this point, which it seems to be true, again, it's a tough challenge. Anyway, I'm waffling here because I don't want to pick. I like Khalil Roundtree a lot. He's probably one of my favorite fighters to watch. I know he's one of your favorites too, DangerMouse. But
sure.
Yeah, but I think this newfound defensive skill that Yuri showed in his last fight, I think if he can implement that same sort of game plan against Khalil, I think, man, that dude hits just hard enough and he throws just weird enough strikes that he could put away anyone on any given night. And Khalil Roundtree, we have seen, is a bit too willing of a participant to take damage in his bouts. So I think I'm going to have to go Yuri, and I don't really see Yuri as a decision guy, so I think he's probably going to put Khalil away, but I think Khalil's going to tough it out for a while, so maybe a third round TKO for Yuri.
Okay. I'll take this one away because, as you said, Khalil Roundtree, one of my favorite fighters. Ever since I saw him on Tough when he soccer kicked that guy in the ribs, you could hear that echo all around the apex, and I've seen him do it a couple of times since. So yeah, I love that viciousness that he has. He's like, "Oh, you've gone down. Yeah, I'm not going to follow you down. I'm just going to kick the fuck out of you with my shins." And Yuri, loads of fun. As you said, the crazy samurai stuff, goes off, trains in the woods, locks himself up for 3 days and talks with bats, or whatever the fuck he does in those places. I have no idea. A very, very strange guy. Super entertaining fight. It's one of those fights where I just want to see it. I don't really mind who wins it. It's such a fun fight. It's like when Khalil fought Alex. I know he didn't really deserve that fight, maybe at the time, but I want to see that fight, and it was a great fight. And as you mentioned, also it brought Khalil up to a new level, it seems. And you've also mentioned it. Yuri's had that same kind of experience where he's learned head movement, and they've both had great fun kicking the shit out of Jamal Hill, which is great fun for all of us. Yeah, love it.
Oh god.
So yeah, I think I'm right now. I'm going with the. I'm not going to call him the love of my life because that's very, very gay. I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Khalil Roundtree on this one. I think for the moment, I think he's going to edge closer to getting another title shot. I'm not necessarily not sure he'll ever win a title, but I'd love to see him get another shot at it. So yeah, Khalil for me. And Austin, take it away, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, man, this is like the one thing where it's like you like both fighters and you don't want them to fight, but you want to see the matchup because you're curious about it, right? Because it's a great fight.
No. I just want to see this fight. I don't really care about the matchup. I'll sacrifice either one of them if I have to.
I'm looking at this fight and I'm thinking either Jury has taken on the new exact like persona that he's got from learning head movement, which is a joke. It's a thing that we're like, oh, you never really used to use his head for anything else other than going forward and eating punches, but but he learned head movement. He learned how to be defensively sound. And it's not like Jamal Hill was going to offer him anything other than just kind of straightforward, heavy punching, defenseless leg syndrome kind of thing. I look at this as like, okay, you can do the MMA math on it. Jury had two times to face Poatan and came up short very quickly in both and didn't really look like he belonged in there with him. That was a different version. You can also look at Khalil's version of Poatan and realize that he started really good. Started off very, very on point, landing heavy, pushing the pace, getting after Poatan, putting him in very dangerous situations, and dropping him twice, I think, and nearly finishing the fight at one point. But you could see there was moments where he kind of like faltered at certain points and he allowed the fight to get away from him. And you look at the finish and you're like, yeah, that was an escalation. It started one way and quickly became something else. And you could look at both of their fights with Jamal Hill, and Jamal Hill being a more stationary target for Khalil, but just not having any answers for Jury or having really much resistance against Jamal. Like you could see he was kind of the lesser fighter in both physically and just willingly. And I think that's the problem with that one is that both of their most recent fights, Jamal Hill has been the tester of both their capabilities, and it's not like they got much resistance in both. Matter of fact, I think Khalil looked worse because his opponent didn't really offer much offense back. Whereas Jury just had 3 rounds to really just tool Jamal Hill and prove to us that, like, okay, yeah, he is that guy still. He's capable of figuring it out. Jamal Hill in this one, I think he took his foot off the gas pedal a handful of times and just didn't want to continue to pressure because he knew he had him and he was going to take it to a decision. That's a Khalil Roundtree that I look forward to seeing. A guy who's willing to take necessary risks, but also pull back on the reins a little bit so that he can win the fight. I think that's the guy who I will favor in this one. And not that Jury can't win or isn't capable of winning. I think it's going to be Khalil Roundtree taking a 3-round decision over Jury, and it's going to be a very close fight. Matter of fact, I think it's going to be a split decision, but it's going to be a fight of the night.
Yeah, it has all the prospects of being a fight of the night. Yeah, this decision I think is decision is the most likely result for this. Because it's 3 rounds as well. That's what I was thinking of. It's not a 5-round main event, and I can just see Khalil piling on the pressure early on. Yeah, I'm not sure who the quicker starter is between these two guys, to be honest.
I mean, it's about even, but I would probably lean Yuri. The one thing that I wanted to say is that both these guys are kind of each other's, I guess, kryptonite you would call it, or they're each other's kind of weakness because, first, both these guys beat Jamal Hill, and they beat him for the same reason, because Jamal Hill has terrible fucking footwork. He's got the worst footwork ever. He's got the biggest, sloppiest platypus feet you ever seen. And they both have far better footwork than he does. The thing is, and this is what made me think that they're kind of both each other's weakness a bit, is while they do both have better footwork than Hill, it's in different ways. Khalil's a very orthodox fighter. He's a very kind of strategic. He's very, aggressive and very ruthless with his strikes, but he does things in a kind of a standard orthodox Muay Thai kind of way. Things come at you a certain way. He marches forward a certain way. And that's his biggest strength. Yuri's the opposite. Everything's kind of weird. Everything's wacky. It's out of control. It looks like a kung fu movie, whatever the case may be. But he also has very, very good footwork. It's just different. It's that strange kind of like mesmerizing type footwork. But he's very fast with the footwork. And I just wonder, like, is that unorthodox nature going to be what it takes to overwhelm the very orthodox nature of a Khalil Roundtree? It's a very intriguing matchup. It's going to be a ton of fun to watch.
Yes, probably. I think it might be the people's fight in some respects for that entire card.
So good.
Even though we like the main event and the co-main. So I'll lead us into the next one then. At featherweight, not a championship, obviously. Josh Emmett versus Youssef Zalal. Josh Emmett, 40-year-old veteran, comes into this one with a 19-5-0 win-loss draw rate. Team Alpha Male lost his last fight to British upcomer Lerone Murphy. I know a fight that Murphy was slagged off for in this one, but yeah, lost his last one. Did send Bryce Mitchell to the land of wind and ghosts with a blow that I know the fact that Lazy loves like nothing else in this world. Also got pieced up by Taporia, no shame there. Yair Rodriguez, where he was lost by triangle choke, his first ever submission loss, which is what I think Youssef Zalal, the Moroccan Devil, is going to do to him. Moroccan Devil on a 7-fight win streak, 17-5-1 record. It's not the world's greatest, but that 7-fight win streak, 9 submission wins on his career. If he loses, it's by decision, and we all know that Josh Emmett is not really a decision fighter. He tries to knock your head off, and I think that Youssef Zalal is going to get this one to the ground, get Josh Emmett's back, and I think we're going to get a second round submission by the Moroccan Devil.
Wow, you think he's going to put him away with a sub?
I do.
I could see.
That's bold.
I mean, yeah, it's bold, but it's possible. I could see a scenario unfolding.
Well, looking back at his record, he pieced up Calvin Kattar. That was just a decision. Arm triangle choker versus Jack Shaw, round 2. He beat Jarno Evans, rear naked choke, round 1. Beat Billy Quarantillo by rear naked choke in round 2. And beat Vadim Zanit. I have no idea how to pronounce that one. It's from a Sparta thing. That was an arm triangle choke as well. So that's his last few wins. And I don't think Josh Emmett is at 40. I think he's going to lose on the speed side, which is going to be very important. And he's just going to get choked out.
I think that if Zalal were to get a sub, it would be a situation where Emmett decides to wrestle. and decides that, because he is a good wrestler, and if he decides to use that wrestling, I could see being a team alpha male guy, that as much as they are good with front chokes, they kind of don't have great defense for him, and they serve their necks up on a platter. So I could see that potentially happening if he decides to wrestle. It's interesting.
Okay. Well, you might as well take it away then, Lazy, since you were already talking.
Yeah, as soon as I hijacked it. Well, I'll keep it short though. Yeah, it's Josh Emmett's 40. You said it, man. He's 40, and he's a great athlete. But you can't be relying on athleticism at 40. Power is the last thing to go, and he's certainly got plenty of that. But getting the missile to the target is always a problem when you're slowing down. And his delivery system to get that missile to the target hasn't been the greatest in recent years, hasn't been the most fluid or the quickest. What is Yusuf Zalal? He's fucking fluid and he's quick. He's going to be light on his feet. He's going to be dancing. He's going to be juking and jiving and doing his little things. It could be he's juking and jiving to the point that it's maybe a very boring fight. It could be another one where afterwards we're left a bit disappointed and, we don't have the best taste in our mouth because he could skirt his way to a victory in point fight, especially because do you really want to engage and get close to Josh Emmett for too long? No, you don't. So it could be one of those situations, but I think more or less it's going to be Josh Emmett trying to get close and not using his wrestling because for whatever reason, he's one of those guys that's a great wrestler that fell in love with his power and forgot that he knows how to wrestle. So I think that it's going to be a situation where he's probably going to be trying to track down Yusuf the entire fight, failing to do so, looking to land that one big bomb. He may get close a couple of times, but not close enough. And I think that while it will be pretty much a point fight, I think it'll be a relatively entertaining point fight. And I think that Yusuf's probably going to piece up Emmett on his way to a decision victory.
No, I'll take the win either way. I just noticed actually these guys have both lost to Ilia Topuria. But Yusuf Zalal was at 10-2 at that time, quite a way back. Yeah, back in 2020, that was. Austin, who you got in this one, my friend?
Well, either Josh Emmett gets lucky and just cracks Zalal and finishes him. No, there's no two ways about it. Zalal is not the heavier hitter. Emmett is. And who between them has the better chin. I'm going to say it's Emmett. So, the other more likely possibility is that Zalal kind of picks and prods and dances around Emmett for 3 rounds, and we get a 15-minute decision that's one-sided, and it's primarily not entertaining, and it's not going to be one you remember. It's just going to be another thing on the wall that we're like, oh yeah, that fight happened, and then move on with our lives, and then regret watching this one. It's either Zalal gets knocked out early because he thinks he's capable all of a sudden, or Zalal does the smart thing and dances around, and it's not very entertaining for us. So I'm going to say the more likely one is Zalal taking a unanimous decision over Josh Emmett because Josh Emmett is kind of like a tortoise. He's just kind of going to chase. He's going to throw heavy, but he's not going to land a whole lot because Zalal's just not going to be there. He's not going to stick in the pocket. He's not that type of fighter. The only reason why he would probably get into position to submit, though, to Mouse's choice, is that Zalal immediately starts wrestling right off the bat to get Josh Emmett tired. And that's a dangerous game because, he could wrestle and commit to it, but he only really does that against smaller fighters or guys who are lesser than in the grappling department. And when he usually chooses to do that if he's winning. He only does that in desperation if he gets caught up against another guy who's pressing and looking to grapple. Josh Emmett doesn't really look to grapple. Josh Emmett really wants to just kind of throw his hands and stand and bang, which is why he got submitted by Yair Rodriguez, because he was literally knocking down Yair Rodriguez and then decided to continue to throw hands instead of following him down and looking to finish. Because the one time he did get hit, he got hit in the body, folded, and then went for a desperation takedown, and then got submitted. That's where the submission would probably come in. I don't see Zalal doing that to him. I see Zalal just playing it safe, looking for the jab, low kicks, staying out of range, and continuing to circle. I will take that version of Zalal and the decision. I have very little faith in Josh Emmett.
Yeah. I think the only universe I see a world where Yusuf Zalal could knock out Josh Emmett is if Emmett is pressuring him up against the fence, like an Aaron Pico or like a oh god, who did it? Somebody just did it like a week or two ago. Fucking my guy, John Silva. There could be a scenario where if Emmett's really trying to pressure and come in to land one of those big shots, has Yusuf Zalal against the fence, he could hit one of them spinning elbows. Those spinning elbows have been hot lately.
They have. Everybody's been trying them.
And Emmett's just a big, crazy enough man to barge forward into one.
Absolutely. Yeah, I should point out I am the counter casuals. Do not base anything on my picks. Do not gamble money. Yeah, the final card. Well, the first fight on the main card is Joe Pyfer versus Abbas Magomedov at middleweight. And Austin, you can take us away on this one.
A bus. I didn't really have much else to say. God. Two fighters I just kind of dislike now. One for very different reasons than the other one, but both kind of tall and lanky, but not very, I want to say, extremely capable for the division. But Joe Pyfer is interesting because he hasn't been fighting that. He's not been fighting that long, but he's shown that he has capabilities. He's just not very capable. So it's interesting considering he's fighting a guy who his thing is he got one fight in the UFC and then got immediately destroyed the next fight after finishing his opponent the first fight by Sean Strickland, and then has just basically been win loss, and then has recently gone on I want to say 1 or 2 wins now. He's finally getting momentum, but I doubt that's going to be the case against Joe Pyfer. I'm gonna lean a bus because I believe a bus is better than a Pyfer. But there was a joke in there. I can't seem to land it. But Pyfer being.
For reference, Abbas is coming off wins against Michael Pereira, Bruno Ferreira, and Wally Alves, and then before that, he lost to Kyle Morello and Sean Strickland.
I have a feeling that this is kind of like the last good run of a bus that we will see for some time, and Joe Pyfer is still young enough to kind of like do something, I guess, but I'm not going to have super good faith in him because he's facing a better striker than him. Not a much greater striker, but a better striker. And it's not that he can't knock him out, obviously, but I could find it. I mean, hell, Joe Pyfer believes he is that guy, but he can barely handle Mexican food. So, I mean, what are you going to say to that? You know, I also like. It's not like he's got this great youth about him. I mean, the dude had to get a fucking hair transplant, but that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna go with the bus because a bus is better than a Pyfer any day of the week, and I'll take it by a unanimous decision.
Ooh, Lazy, do you want to go on this one?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to go on this one. Oh man, yeah, I kind of have to go on this. Decision is a bold selection, Austin. Although this is a situation where you have two finishers coming together, and sometimes when you have that, it more than often not goes to a decision. So maybe it's not such a bad call. But these guys like to finish. They like to go for the kill. And the other thing that these two guys share in common is they both have horrendous, absolutely terrible cardio. Horrible fucking cardio. Both these guys gas. They gas fast. They got the gas tank of a fucking 1976 Cadillac. It burns quick and it does not last long. But because of that, they are powerful strikers. And I do agree with Austin that I think while Pyfer swings heavy leather and he's got heavy hands, he's nicknamed body bags for a reason. Abus is slightly more technical. He's got a wider variety of striking tools in the tool belt. The thing that gives me a little pause is Pfeiffer does have some grappling skills. He's pretty good in the grappling department. Not great, but pretty good. Certainly serviceable and better than Abus. So if he decides to take the grappling route, things could get dicey for Magomedov. But I think that this is more than likely going to be a dick swinging contest. I think this is going to be two guys wanting to stay on the feet and wanting to chase that knockout. Joe Pfeiffer's certainly dumb enough to do that. And I think that Abus has faced the better competition. I think he's seen the better opposition. He's older by 6 years, so that does worry me a little bit. But he's looked pretty good in his last couple of fights. He hasn't had any issues on the scale. Yeah, and I really don't like Joe Pfeiffer, so I can't bring myself to pick him. Give me Abus Magomedov, but I think he's going to get a finish. Let me say late second round TKO.
Oh.
Pfeiffer's going to gas out and get fucking clipped.
Well, I'm looking at the topology now. Pfeiffer is ranked 17. Abbas is ranked 19. Abbas has got literally twice as much over experience. Pfeiffer's 14-3. Abbas 28-6-1.
Abus only loses to guys like Kyle Bahayo and Sean Strickland on short notice. So I mean,
that's the thing. It was a Strickland fight. I first saw him, but I believe I did pick him against Michel Pereira. I fancied him in that fight, and maybe the fight before that as well. This is probably, other than the main event, which was difficult for me, this was the hardest one to pick, and I've had to listen to what both you guys have both said, and I have to take into account the fact that the radical hatred that some of you have for Joe Pfeiffer.
Whatever do you mean, Mouse? What could have prompted you to say this? I take offense to that, sir. I take offense to that. I don't hate Joe Pfeiffer. I just think he's a piece of shit.
Guy around. What Pfeiffer? He's the best guy around.
You just don't. You can't feed him spicy food because it's going to hurt his tum tum.
Oh God, I'm looking at his record now. Beat Barrio, beat Kelvin Gastelum, but put Gastelum to a decision, which.
And it's fat Gastelum, fat shitty fucking old Gastelum.
Yeah, and Barrio's not exactly the greatest guy in the world when it comes down to it.
No, slow as fucking molasses.
Yeah. Oh, he beat He beat GM3 twice. Once in the UFC, once at grappling. At Fury Pro Grappling.
Yeah.
Well, because he's a Joe Pfeiffer. The best definition you can say to him is that he's a can crusher. Legitimately.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You have just called Kelvin Gastelum a can, though. There, but
oh, can you argue? He's a current can.
He's certainly a game.
I will say, in Joe's defense, he is the moderate favorite coming into this fight. Like Abus is a pretty decent slight underdog, plus 180. I'm seeing.
Yeah, because they're literally thinking a bust is going to show up.
And I think it's also people are looking at the age factor. I think that they think that, maybe Abus is over the hill, but the guy's coming off 3 wins.
Yeah, and it's 35. What? It's middleweight as well, isn't it? I mean, 35 at middleweight is not the end of the world. He's coming towards the end of the world, but he's not quite there just yet.
And he just turned 35 too. He just turned.
Well, I was going to say Pfeiffer coming off of that last fight wasn't like the best showing either. You know what I mean?
No, I think you guys might have swayed me in the direction I wasn't sure if I was going to go or not, and I think all 3 of us might be on board the bus, as it were.
Let's go.
Let's go. We're on the bus. Let's go. Fuck Joe Pfeiffer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that last part. I mean, I did it. But, fuck Joe Pfeiffer.
Right. I haven't really got anything else to say on this card, but I know Lazy was interested. He might want to make a couple of picks to inform our listeners.
Yeah, I would. Well, just first, real quick, the very first fight of the night, Veronica Hardy takes on Brogan Walker. Brogan Walker's a former TUF finalist. I don't even have to look at the record to know she hasn't fought in fucking forever. She has limited experience as it is. she's not the greatest. Now Veronica Hardy, you could look at the record 9-5-1 to know she's not the greatest either. Also hasn't been around the longest. But to me, this is a clear fucking setup fight. Like they're giving Veronica Hardy this win. She's a -600, huge favorite from what I'm seeing. But I think there's still value in that because I think she's definitely getting the win over Brogan Walker. So if you want to go Dan Hardy's wife, I would say that's a pretty safe bet.
Just looking at that one, I've just looked it up now. She last fought Yasmin Lucindo, and before that was Juliana Miller, and she lost both those fights, UFC fight nights.
Brogan, yeah.
Brogan, yes, and they were in 2023. So yeah, she hasn't fought. She hasn't fought for 2.5 years almost. Because
she lost the tough final against Juliana Miller, who is absolutely terrible. And that's almost guaranteed money if you want to bet Veronica Hardy, unless fucking lightning strikes her or something like that on the way to the octagon. You're pretty much guaranteed money.
Sounds good.
And then also, I would like to bring up Patchy Mix, who, after having a main card spot, if I'm not mistaken, on I think that was a pay-per-view the last go round, and laying a stinker. He's now buried on the prelims. He is taking on Jakob Wiklax, I'm probably butchering that name, but he is the other of the two fighters that the UFC signed from KSW, I believe it was, that are both managed by Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And he's kind of the better of the two, if you want to be real about it. So not exactly giving Patchy a layup here, but they are giving him a debutante who is coming in from another organization. It's going to have all the jitters and stuff like that. So that's probably going to be a pretty fun fight because this new kid could beat Patchy. And on the other side, we're going to want to see what happens, with Patchy going forward. So that's a fun one. I mean, you got fun fights sprinkled all over the card, but I had to mention those two.
Oh, I thought you were going to drag up Farid Basher out there.
Undefeated.
Yes, indeed, 13-0. I'm just looking.
Also not getting a layup himself. That's a pretty decently tough matchup he's got. And Chris Gutierrez. Gutierrez not going to lay down for anyone.
Yeah, I was just looking at the guy who was you were talking about. Wiklaus, or however the hell you pronounce it. Anything else on that card that looks interesting? Shabazian? Probably not.
Atiba Gautier, he's back, the middleweight Francis Ngannou, and he's almost assuredly going to knock out Ozzy Diaz.
Oh, yeah, he's going to murder him. Yeah, murder him.
minus 1,000, no big deal. Huge favorite.
Ooh, not good opinion then.
The golden boy Edmund Shabazian is back too.
Yep. Against Andre Muniz.
If Pfeiffer loses, it should be him and Shabazian.
Ooh.
That's fair, huh?
That's not bad. I kind of like that.
Just 20 points. 20 points the difference between rankings. So that's quite a kick.
He shouldn't be ranked anyways.
Down the road for Pfeiffer.
Hey, it would still be Pfeiffer's 14-3 versus Edmund's 15-5.
That's true, I suppose. Yeah, they're not.
And Edmund, God, it feels like Edmund's been around forever. Edmund is 2 years younger than Pfeiffer.
Yeah, imagine that. Also, didn't need hair transplant.
That's crazy. That's crazy, and I think that's probably a good point to end this on. So those are our picks for that. Do with them what you will. We will be back to see how good or bad these picks were on Sunday for the Weekend Roundup, hosted by your friend LazyBed. You can tell that because it's an odd number. It's on 71. So yeah, I've been DangerMouse. I've been getting steadily drunker as this show has gone on. We've had Austin with us. So say goodbye, Austin.
Later, guys. Woo!
We've had Lazy with us. Say goodbye, Lazy.
Peace, guys. Peace. See you later.
We haven't had Dave with us, so don't say goodbye, Lazy. And I'm in DangerMouse, and let's get the fuck out of here and go and watch some Submission Radio or something. I don't know.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, and don't forget to like and subscribe if by some miracle you made it this far.
Letting Joe Pfeiffer hate to go. Oh, fuck.
Okay, you cracked open a beer yet? Or are you still sober for the day?
Woo!
We lost an Austin. We've lost him.
Woo!
Even a good one for me. Even I'm fairly confident who I can pick on these. Most of them anyway.
Woo!
His head Joe Pfeiffer so much. Oh my god. It's like Joe Pfeiffer is just a cool dude. It happens. It's not. That's just real hair. What do you mean?
Poor Dave.
You, Plank.
Woo! That's a fun card, at least.
We waited all this time for this.